Okay, the areas reserved for layers are special elements of HTML that can be used to contain the other HTML element and to display them dynamically using JavaScript scripts. So we stack more than one layer on the other. One or more layers can be made visible dynamically, hiding others. Using Dreamweaver, you can do this without even knowing JavaScript coding. The problem with the layers is that they can only be seen with recent browser, and I think it's our case. In this video, we will use multiple layers stacked on top of each other and make them visible when the mouse rolls over the picture. In our case, we'll take two rollover pictures whose name is picture 1 and picture 2, and 3 layers whose name are layer 1, layer 2 and layer 3. So when we hover over picture 1 with the mouse, the second layer will appear. Layer 1 and layer 2 will be hidden with their contents. It's the same for picture 2. Layer 1 and layer 2 will be hidden, and layer 3 will appear when its content with its content when hovering over picture 2. Then we have the mouse when we have the mouse out of picture 1 or picture 2, so the initial situation is displayed. And I will explain you the steps to do this. So the first step is the creation of the rollover picture. So to create a rollover picture, you must have two pictures of roughly similar size, and you can use software for picture processing like Photoshop or Fireworks, for instance. So then suppose we have all these. You have first to create a new page in Dreamweaver, so that you click on the HTML button here. So we have here a window with two displays. One on the top is the coding display, and in the middle the creation display. So we'll click here in the creation display, and we will add two rollovers in one table. Then first of all we have to insert a table. So in the menu bar you click on the insert, then table, and you will choose to have a table with 2 rows and 1 column here, and then you click OK. Well, so you click in the first cell of the table, and in this first cell we will add the first rollover. To have this first rollover, so you click on the insert button here, and you click on picture objects and then rollover. As name for the first rollover, so I choose picture 1. Okay. As original picture, I browse to choose one picture. For instance, in my case it's this one, but you can choose the picture you want, and then OK. A second time you click on OK. As a rollover picture, you can browse for choosing the corresponding picture. In my case, I choose this one. Then I click on OK, and second time on OK. So I can add here an alternative text. This is for the alt attribute. I can write the first rollover, and then I validate. I click on OK here. So you can see in the creation display that a new picture appeared in the coding display. So you can see here by clicking that the alt attribute is fulfilled. So manually you have to type to fulfill the title attribute. So it's the same content as the alt attribute, but so you have to copy and paste the content here. So title, how to write title, correct the title. So it's only for the tooltip in the different browsers. Okay, then I click on actualize if I want. Okay, then in the second cell of my table, so I will add the second rollover. So I click on insert button here, choose picture object, and then rollover. At that time, as name for my second rollover, I choose to write picture 2. Okay. As original picture, this one I will change the things. So when I browse here, I select first this picture, then OK, and second time OK, and as rollover here for the swap. So I browse and choose this picture. Okay, second time. So I write for the alt attribute the second rollover, and so click on OK. So as for the first rollover, so something happens here. I can click here to resize my picture if I want manually here, or better I click here in the code display here, and for the first rollover I've got the size of my first picture. It was 133 pixels width and 159 pixels height. So here I can correct the width and the height to have something similar. Okay, so I have to add manually the title attribute and select the content of the alt attribute, copy and paste it to the title attribute, then OK, and I can actualize the content. Okay, so well, now I have to insert the different layers. So to insert the layers, so I click outside here, and in the menu bar I click on insert, and then layout objects, and then I choose APDiv. So you have an APDiv tag that was created here, and in this layer, so you can add either text or pictures or a mix or what you want. Okay, so you can see here that when you select the layer here, so you can move it, and we have to move it near the table to see what we are doing. So in the property window here, so you can see the width and the height of my layer. I've got a layer of 200 pixel width and 115 pixel height, so I can resize if I want here, but for the present presentation we'll leave this. And here, so we have the coordinates of the layer as the corresponding first point here on the top left of the corner. So, and here you can choose exactly the corresponding coordinates. So for instance, I will choose these coordinates. Okay, so remember these coordinates, they will be important for the future. Well, so in this layer, so I said I can add either text or a picture or mix. So in my case I will add some text, for instance. So, and I click inside the layer and I click this is the text for layer 1. Okay, then click on OK, then I click outside and I will add the other layers. So I do the same process, insert, layout object and APDiv. So see here that a second layer was created here. So if I select the corresponding layer, so you can see that you can move it. Okay, I will insert here at that moment the corresponding text. The weather was nice today and the sun was shining all the day. Okay, so now I can move it and superimpose. I want to move it and superimpose on the first layer. So I can do this manually or in the property window. Remember the top left coordinate of the corner. So here we've got 500 pixels and here 50 pixels. Then OK, and well, I think it's this. No, it was not this. It was 40. So here 40. Okay. So you can see here that the two layers are well superimposed. So I do the same for the third layer. So insert, layout object, APDiv. So I select here the corresponding. Here I select the layer. I move it, and here I write some text. This is the text for layer 3. Layer 3 like that. Okay, and then I select my layer, and then so I have to superimpose it on the previous layers. So it was this thing. And okay. So you can see that the three layers are well superimposed. Well, okay. Now I have to change the layer properties. To do this, I select first here a window in the menu bar, and choose AP element here. So you can see here on the right of the screen here that we have our three layers here. So by default, we want that the APDiv1 layer will be visible. So I select it, and you can see here there is an eye. So, and I click here on the corresponding here. So you can see here that the eye is closed. When I re-click here, so the eye will be open. Okay, and you can see the corresponding situation in the display, in the creation display here. When I click, I select APD1 and I click first here, so one layer disappear. So when I re-click here, the layer appear again. So as default, I want that APD1 is visible and the two others are hidden. So I select APDiv2 and I click here on the eyes and I close, and I do the same for APDiv3 and here I close. Okay, so and you can see in the creation display that there is only the layer 1, the APDiv1 tag, who is visible. So you can see this also when you select here the corresponding layer in the property window. So you can here see what happened here as default. So you have visible. So if you want to change the status, so you can do this by clicking on this arrow, and you can see that you have visible, hidden, or default, etc., etc. Okay. Well, so okay. Now, once we have changed the layer properties, so we have to add behaviors. Well, now you have to select picture 1, where you will add some dynamic layers effect. So after selecting picture 1, you have to click on the window button in the menu bar here and choose behavior. Behaviors here. Well, okay, and then in the right of the screen here in this behavior tab here in this behavior window, called inspector tag, tag inspector window. So we will add some behaviors. So we will click here on the plus button and choose corresponding behavior is show and hide elements. Okay, so we have wizard window that appears. So for picture 1, when we are hovering over the picture 1, so we want that the second layer appears, so is visible, and the two others are closed. Okay, then I select here APD3 and I select here hide. For APD2 I select appear or show or display, I don't know exactly in English. And for the APD1 I select hide, and then I click on OK. So you can see here that another behavior appears here. It was by default an on-click behavior. So you have to change this by clicking on the on-click, and here to select here in the scrolling here, and on mouse over here, on mouse over. Okay, then you have to add another behavior, because when your cursor leaves the picture, we want that we have the initial status, so that we have to add another behavior. So reselect if necessary the picture 1, and then you add another behavior by clicking here on plus button here, and to show hide elements. So this case we want that APD3 is hidden, APD2 is hidden, and APD1 is displayed. Okay, and then you click on OK. Then you have the corresponding behavior that appears here in the behavior window. Then you click here on click and choose in the scrolling here on mouse out. Okay, then you have added two other behaviors. So now for picture 1 it's okay. Then we have to do the same process for picture 2. So then select picture 2 here. Then in the corresponding tag inspector window here, you have to add some other behavior. So select here show hide elements. So in this case, I want that picture 3 appears, and picture 1, sorry, we want that APD3 is visible, and APD1 and 2 are hidden when hovering over picture 2. So we select APD3 and we select here display, and here for APD1 and 2 hide. Okay, then okay, so you have new behavior that appears. So you click here on click, and you want that this behavior will be on mouse over. So you select here on mouse over. Okay, then you have to add another behavior, because when your cursor when you forget the focus, so you have to be in the initial status. Okay, so you have to add another behavior. So you click here on the plus button and show hide elements here. So previous behavior is APDiv3 hidden, APDiv2 hidden, and APDiv1 display. Then OK, then you change here the corresponding behavior on mouse out. Well, okay, then we have to save our work. So save work, for instance, dynamic layers, and then save. Okay, so when your work is saved, you can see the results in your favorite browser. So that you click on F12, for instance, and there is the situation, the initial status. So when we hovering on the first picture, so you see that first picture is changing. Second, there is a tooltip that appears, and thirdly, the layers here is changing. Okay, and when you lose focus, okay, then you have the initial situation. So you can see what happens with the second picture. So rollover is going well. Tooltip appears, and you see that here the third layer appears when hovering over the second picture. So in this video, we have seen how to create dynamic layers using rollovers in Dreamweaver.